Good morning or evening, everyone. Thank you for choosing Triple H Farm. We're here in the kitchen today, and we are going to make salsa. So, I've been picking tomatoes off my plants for a couple of weeks now, and I've been freezing them. Because my husband, we're going to try it this way. He heard somebody told him that if you freeze them, and then they're easier to peel. So that's what I'm doing now, and so far that's true. So let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the water on with the tomatoes. Let me just peel right up. You don't want the actual tomato thawed, because then, you know, the meat comes off like this. I left these in here too long. Thawed them out. And see, there we have it. Alright, so this is the first part I did, so let's get the rest of it done. Alright, so over here, I got my husband chopping some onions.
Mommy, me!
You want to be in the picture? There you are. And that's Christopher. Alright, good job, babe. So when we get done with the tomatoes, I will show you everything we did yesterday. Nicole and I here.
Hard because the thing kept getting stuck. I don't know what it's called though. Yeah.
We chopped up all of the peppers that we grew in the garden. They're Anaheim peppers and banana peppers, and then some bell peppers. And we chopped all of those up yesterday, but I didn't video it. But I'll show you the bags, and I'll show you the equipment we used. And I'll also get out my book and show you the recipe. So let's get back to it. You need 10 cups of tomatoes. This is what we have so far. And we're going to chop these up and see how many we have and see if we need to peel some more.
Mommy, you got core.
Yes, I am cutting the core out. So we are cutting the core out, and then we're going to cut them up in chunks and throw them in a bowl. So a melon ball thing would work better, but I don't have one, so I'm just going to use my tomato knife. And these are frozen, so they're going to take me a little longer. to do. I'm not going to cut myself, babe.
Wait, come, Mommy! Wait, come!
You want to cut the little core out?
What does it look like without the cord?
Like that.
Weird.
Alright, so the recipe we're going to use today is in this home preserving book.
Pickles!
Yes,
Pickles!
there are lots of pickles, yes. And it's on page 207. Alright, so you'll see that we put on there, it says best salsa. And you need, so everything you need is right here. We got our tomatoes, which are 10 cups, which I'm pretty sure this is more than 10 cups, so we'll have to measure it out. We've got our bell peppers here. I chose to do Anaheim peppers because this is what I grow in my garden, and they are, they taste and look like jalapenos, but they're not as spicy. I think the most spicy they get is 1,500. And then of course my banana peppers. There's not very many, but I'm not going to use a whole lot of these. You need garlic. We went ahead and peeled the garlic last night. When I did my peppers, I used this little thing. I chopped my peppers and then I put them in here and I chopped them this way because they get the small like I like. So now that we have all of these, let's take this recipe to the kitchen, measure it out, and let's start cooking. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to sterilize our jars. So Nicole here, she's just filling all the jars up and filling the pot up, and then we're going to put on the stove and sterilize them.
Baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do do do, baby shark. Mommy shark do do do, mommy shark do do do, mommy shark do do do, mommy shark. Daddy shark do do do, daddy shark do do do, daddy shark do do do, daddy shark. I think. Grandma shark do do do, grandma shark do do do, grandma shark do do do, grandma shark. Grandpa shark do do do, grandpa shark do do do, grandpa shark do do do, grandpa shark. I forget the rest.
Run
away do do do, run away do do do, run away do do do, run away.
Safe at last.
Safe at last, do do do, safe at last, do do do, safe at last, do do do, safe at last. It's the end, do do do, it's the end, do do do, it's the end, do do do, it's the end. Yeah! Done. Ow! I hurt my knee. But at least it didn't go backwards. Okay. Lid.
Alright, now that we got our jars on, they're going to take about 20 to 30 minutes to actually boil the water. And then we have to let them sit in there boiling water for about 10 minutes. But while that's going, we're going to go ahead and get all of our ingredients ready for the rest of it.
Yay.
Alright, so we're going to do 10 cups of
What's a quart?
tomatoes.
Quart.
4 cups is a quart. So we're going to do 10 cups of tomatoes. So you're going to go up to the 10 line. You're just going to take your tomatoes. You're going to Now, I'm using this because they're frozen. You don't have to use this.
Or if you don't use it, your fingers will literally like feel like they're gonna burn off.
They're gonna freeze, is what she's saying.
But they will burn. That's what it felt like whenever we were cutting them earlier.
So you need 10 cups.
Right there looks like 4 quarts. Or a quart.
This is 4 cups. We're just gonna dump it in there.
Can I do the next one?
Yep. Just wanted to show you.
Alright,
There you go.
Yay!
So 4, so we need how many more cups? If we need 10.
6.
Good job. So after we get our 10, I'm actually going to put in 1 more scoop just because I want to make sure I have enough. Then we'll go on to the next one.
What's the next one?
What does it say? What does it say?
After tomatoes,
What's the next ingredient?
chopped seeded green bell peppers.
Okay, so bell peppers and how many?
How many bell peppers? 5 cups.
5 cups. So here's our pot. I have a very small kitchen, so I have to put it in the sink.
This again?
Nope, we're going to use the cup. Yep, we're going to use that. The bell peppers is the big bag, and I'll hold it open for you.
Okay.
And how many cups is it?
5.
5 cups. So, good job. 2.
3.
That's a good scoop. She's got big scoops. 4.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Oh, well, not heaping scoops like you got. That's okay. That's okay. I like bell pepper.
Everybody likes a little bit of bell pepper with ranch.
All right, so we got our bell pepper done. What's next?
Chopped onions. And
Okay.
also 5 cups.
5 cups. So there you go. Wait. You always
Wash it.
rinse. Since we're just doing that, we're just gonna rinse it real quick to get the bell pepper off. Just because I don't want to mix it with the other onions. Because if we don't use them all, I can use them for something else. So there you go. 5 cups. Use your hands. You can use your hands. It's fine. Your hands are clean. Try to make it as flat as you can. Well, there you go. There you go.
1. 2. 3. 4. I think that's 4.
Yep. Oh, you said 3 last time, so that'd be 4.
5.
All right. What's next?
Chopped seed chili peppers such as hot banana yellow. And
So I need these peppers. So I want to do a 4th cup. Well, actually, I have half a cup of banana peppers and 2 cups of the other pepper. Okay.
Cup, okay.
So let me help you with this. Let
I
me
can't stick it in a bag probably, so. Why is there a little bit of red though?
So we're going to do about half, because one of the peppers turned red. Half of our banana peppers. And we're going to do 2 cups of the Anaheim peppers.
So they literally just like flatten out when I open the bag. That's so sad.
I'll hold it and you put it in there, 2 cups.
Okay.
And this is what's going to give our stuff spice.
1.
That's good.
2.
Perfect.
Next is 3 cloves of garlic, finely chopped. We need our garlic. 3
Okay.
cloves.
We are going to use a mincer. And we're going to mince our garlic in there. There you go.
Okay, so which one's the one that we use?
You pick 3,
Pick 3 of what?
Take 1 clove and put it in there. I'm going to do the first one so you can see. You just put your clove in there. Now again, we peeled all of these yesterday. Then you got to be really strong. Chop it in there like that. We're going to mince it up. I'm going to take my butter knife and I'm just going to use the back of it and get it off. Open it up. And all this, we're just going to kind of scrape it out. Right into the sink because we're going to get rid of it. Alright, your turn.
Is this one good?
Yeah, that's a good one. We're going to do 3 of these, right?
Yeah. We already did 1 though.
We already did 1, so that makes 2. You're going to push real hard. You're going to be real strong. All the way to the bottom. Urgh. Make sure you go over it so it doesn't fall into the sink. There you go.
That looks
Alright,
good.
here's your knife.
Done.
The back of the knife, and you scrape it off. Yep. Good job. And you open it up, and the rest, you scrape all that out into the sink. Looks good. And 1 more.
1 more. I was holding it weird.
That's good.
I don't like the smell of garlic, but I like the smell of onions. Okay, this was my way. How do you like this?
Ah, you do have whatever makes it
Fishing
good
like
for you.
50 times.
Good job.
Yep.
Good job. There you go. And since it's the last one, you can just throw that in the sink. Because we're going to wash it. The knife too. Alrighty.
Next
Let me take the garlic out of the way.
Oh, first was cider.
Yeah, we're going to do our apple cider vinegar. It says cider vinegar. We're going to use apple cider.
And we're going to put 1 cup and a fourth. A cup and a fourth.
Okay. A cup is to that line.
And
then a fourth is over here.
Okay.
Perfect. Man, that was good. She was perfect on that. And then a fourth. And it's okay if you use a little bit more than what you need. It's not going to hurt it. Oh, that was way more than what we need. That's okay. Dump it in there. Okay, or not. It's cool.
Good enough.
It's good enough. Because it's all your recipe, and this is really just a guideline. That's what a recipe is for me, is a guideline.
Next, we are going to do a tablespoon of salt.
I don't have any cilantro. Yep, we don't like cilantro, so we don't put the cilantro in here.
We need salt.
So we need salt. I got it right here. Oh, and then we got a tablespoon. A tablespoon is the big one. And then that's it, right? Okay, put the salt in there. Tablespoon of salt.
Tablespoon of salt. It's gonna make it salty.
Not really. You need more than that. It's not full. Well, there you go. That's a tablespoon. Okay, when you do it, you put it all around. That's okay. We're gonna mix it. Okay. Go ahead and get this on the stove. Do you want to grab the camera so you can watch me? Okay. Go ahead and get it on the stove. We're going to put it on high to start it. I'm going to stir it up.
Stirry spoon. We need a stirry spoon.
I like to use metal, or not metal. These are not metal. These are wood. I like to use wood spoons because, I don't know, I like them much better than the plastic ones. So I'm just going to give it a good stir. Get all those ingredients in there. Just give it a nice stir. We're going to bring it to a boil. And then once it's on the boil, we're going to cook it for about 10 minutes. Maybe more, depending on how we want our, how thick we want our sauce. If you want it really thick, cook it longer. Then I'm going to put my spoon on top so that if it doesn't boil over. Learn that trick. So now that that's going on, we'll be back in 5/10 of a second with us ladling the jars. So we'll see you then. Alright, so I wanted to show you. It's looking good here. It's very runny, very juicy. That's why you cook it for about 10 minutes. Because we're going to boil a lot of this water out. You can boil it to whatever consistency you want. Alright, you can boil this. You can make it as thick as you want, to whatever consistency you want. But you need to cook it for at least 10 minutes on a roaring boil. That is where you stir it and the boil doesn't go down. And then the longer you cook it, the thicker it'll get. Because you're going to boil this, all this juice out of it. So, it's only been about 3 minutes. So, we're going to keep on going. We'll see you back here when it starts to boil.
Bye.
Alright, so this is a roaring boil. I'm doing this and the boil is still there. So now we're gonna cook it for about 10 minutes. We turned it down to a medium low to just let it simmer for about 10 minutes. And then we're gonna come back in and check on it and see how thick it is and if it needs to be thicker or thinner or however we do it. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Alright, so here's what it looks like after 10 minutes. And I want it to be a little bit thicker than this, but you can see that the tomatoes and everything is starting to cook down. So I'm going to turn it up a little bit and I'm going to cook it for another 5 minutes and see what it looks like. We'll see you then.
So this is what this salsa looks like right now. It's actually boiled down. So, camera. Get that? But it's actually boiled down. It's a little lower now, but it's actually starting to look like salsa. So, see y'all when the rest of it is done.
Alright, so this has been going on about 20 minutes and it is super thick. Like it is very, it looks really runny, but it's not. It's pretty thick. So, we're going to go ahead and get our jars out of this pot because they've been boiling for a while and ladle this stuff in there and get this stuff going. Alrighty. So we got all our jars out. You need to be very, very, very careful. They are very, very, very hot. Okay. So then we're going to take our sauce here, our yummy stuff. And I have this awesome little tube. And we're just going to start here and start ladling it in. You want to make sure you have a hot jar with hot sauce. Whatever you're canning, if it's hot, you need to keep it hot, because if not, then it turns, it'll break your jars. You don't want to have cold jars with hot sauce. So you got to make sure you do that. I always do it to about the bottom lip here. Okay, so when you're done getting them all jarred up, you're going to use a knife. I have this cool little tool here that came with my kit. And yes, it's liquid, and yes, it might be crazy, but it's always good practice to get all the bubbles out. And you're just going to kind of Swirl it around in there. When you're done with that, you're going to take a paper towel. I use a paper towel. And I dip it in vinegar. And then you just wipe the rims off. And that gets all the extra sauce, sticky stuff off the rims. And there you go. Then you take your jar lids and you hand tighten them. They don't have to be super tight. Just hand tighten them. You don't want them super uber duper tight. I'm going to take my paper towel here, my rag here. I'm going to use it because it's hot, and I'm going to use my rag to hold it and tighten the lid. Okay. Then you're going to put these jars. I'm not going to put this jar because it's only half full, so it's actually going to cool down. And then we're going to put this one in the refrigerator to eat. We're going to put these back in the water bath canner and boil them for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to take my handy little tool here. Just pick them up. And you put them right into the water bath. Alright, now, when you water bath them, see the water level's down here. The water level needs to be above the lids. So I need to add some water. You want to do, in the water, you want to do about ½ an inch, quarter an inch above the line. So I'm going to put the lid on it, and then it's going to come to a boil. Once it's to a boil, then you start your 15 minutes. So you don't want to start your 15 minutes while it's not boiling. And then you're going to water bath these for about 15 minutes and then take them out and let them sit on the counter undisturbed for 12 to 24 hours. And I usually let them sit there overnight and then I move them in the morning. And you're all done. And that's how you make salsa. So thanks for joining me in my kitchen today, and if you like what you see, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe so next time I make a video on how to make something, you guys will be notified. Alright, ta-ta for now.